Hello everyone, it's Nady, and today we'll be going over this month's best and worst of Bootete, also known as Yady or Nady. As you beautiful people know, this is about the products and not the people behind them. Any tiff you may have with them, please cast it away because this is a channel of positive energy. Okay? Thank you. So, how the fuck is everyone today? I hope wherever you're at in the world, it is a marvelous day for you. Here it's a little bit rainy and kind of stormy, so it's a great day to just sit down and film shit. Just take a sip of my questionable blue drink here. It may or may not have alcohol in it. It does. But I am so sorry that I've not done one of these for probably a few months now. But with moving and everything, it feels like I really haven't reviewed that many products, but I've actually been putting out more videos than I used to. So I've looked over everything that I've tried lately and I put them in categories from best to meh to terrible. However, this month, there really isn't anything that's like actually terrible. They just weren't good enough to make it into the meh category. But really, nothing has been like offensively awful. All right, let's stop standing here with our titties in our mouth and get right into this, shall we? Okay, let me dive into my big old box of Sephora returns. And the first product we are going to start with is, oh my god, this. This is the Smashbox Foundation. Oh dear. This was a Tati made me try it product because on her skin it looked absolutely amazing. She must have more hydrated or more oily skin than I do because on my skin this looked like literal horse manure. Like the first shade I put on, it looked great under these lights, and then when I went to the bathroom to go make my bladder flatter, it looked as if I had dunked my whole face in like cake batter. It was that cakey. And so I wiped all that off, went in a second time with even less product, and holy shit, my arms got a serious workout because you have to apply this extremely quickly. It dries at a ridiculous speed. And when I ended up doing it in sections with just a few drops, it did look okay, but really only on camera under these lights. And I think that's kind of why this is called studio skin, because it does look really good in a film studio or in a photography setting. But in real life, for me, this was dry, it was cakey, it looked awful, it was really hard to work with. And I have so many foundations that look really good in a studio setting and in real life, so I would rather reach for those. Plus, these were kind of really expensive if I remember. I think they were like 40 bucks around there. Not at all worth it. I love Smashbox, but that product was just a hard no. Normally I like things hard, but not this time. Next, we have the Lady Gaga eyeshadows. Or I suppose these are actually like all over liquid powders. I think the lighter ones would be absolutely beautiful, but the darker ones, they just weren't at all worth the price. And I did get quite a few comments on my review saying you have to shake them, and I did shake them prior to my review. I just did it off camera, but you do absolutely have to shake these. There's like a little ball in there, but last time I shook these, they actually leaked all over. Even though it was closed, you can kind of see it coming out of there if my camera will focus. There we go. It just got everywhere. It's so fucking messy. The packaging, out of this world, beautiful. I know a lot of people didn't like it. They think it looks cheap, and I guess it might look cheap, but it actually does feel very good quality. Like it has a nice weight to it. It feels durable. And so for me, the packaging was actually the best part about this, but the fact that it kind of like exploded within itself, that just to me, that's not good. So unfortunately, I am going to be sending these back with no regrets. It just makes me a little bit sad because I bought them in the bundles and I do really like the lip glosses, but then the lip products really are nothing special either. Nothing at all wrong with the formulas. They're great formulas. I just have so many other ones that do the same, that feel the same, that look the same, and honestly are half the price. I love Lady Gaga with every ounce of bodily fluid I have in me, and I'm very curious to see what they come out with next, but this was just such a boring launch for me coming from Lady Gaga. But like I said, the light eyeshadows, those look so beautiful on pretty much everybody that I've seen review them. But I also have like the same thing from Cover FX and Stila, and both of those actually kind of perform way better than these did, so there is that. And last up on this worst section, it's not like it was even bad. Where the fuck is it? Alright, here it is. We have the Morphe Jeffree Star Palette and actually the lipsticks. Although it wasn't really the lipsticks, it was the lip glosses. I had a really bad reaction to them for some reason. I don't know if it was like the glitter, but for several days after, my lips were completely raw. Oh my god, it was very, very painful. I think the lipsticks are fine, although I do prefer the bold set because these were a little bit streaky on me. But the Morphe glosses, they just did something weird to my lips. I don't know if anybody else experienced that. Nothing at all life-threatening, just super fucking uncomfortable. And then this shadow palette. Again, this wasn't terrible, but it didn't really make sense to me because the Jeffree Star Morphe lipsticks came with the Jeffree Star formula. And so I kind of expected these to be the Jeffree Star formula, and these were not at all the Jeffree Star formula. I think the layout is really, really pretty. It has so many different colors to choose from, but to me, it wasn't even Morphe quality. It was like a palette you'd pick up in the discount section at Marshall's, something without a big name on it, and so I was very kind of disappointed and surprised that Jeffree put his name on this. However, some people absolutely adore this palette, and it kind of got me thinking that maybe there were some quality issues, and so I actually used my friend's palette, and oh my god, almost night and day. Like, the shadows that did not perform well for me in this palette performed completely different in their palette. Like, I put two different swatches together, and one just looked dried out, and the other one actually did look very good, like reminiscent of like the James Charles Morphe palette. And so I definitely understand why in my review some of the comments were like, no, this palette is actually really good, because it seems like some of them actually are good. I just happen to get a palette that, I don't know, I wouldn't call it a dud, but it's certainly nothing that I'll probably ever reach for again. When I think of Jeffree Star, I think of luxury and really good quality because he does work very, very hard on his palettes and his formulas. No, I don't love all of the palettes that he's come out with, but you can at least tell that he's really put his heart and soul into it. And this is just like he slapped his name on it. So I like Jeffree, I like Morphe, I just don't like that. And next we are quickly moving our bleached little asses onto the meh category. So my first product in the meh category, I'm actually not even going to say the name of it, because oddly enough, it is the only brand where anytime I don't have something that's absolutely glowing to say about them, my video instantly gets demonetized. It does not matter how toned down I make the video, I swear they have like some kind of deal with YouTube to literally fuck over any YouTube that does not adore this brand. And for that reason, honestly, they should be on my shit list, but we don't have one. But it is this foundation right here, and the name of the brand rhymes with Benty. I don't know what it is about this brand, but a lot of the products just don't work for me, and I keep going back hoping that they will. Sadly, I will never find out because I am never reviewing their products again. But the foundation, it actually didn't look terrible on my skin. I just don't think it was worth the price, and it got really, really shiny very quickly. And my skin is kind of on the drier side, which is extra confusing. But I love that they have so many different shades. Unfortunately, I still can't find my correct shade in that brand. But their first foundation was absolutely in my worst category, and so I'm kind of happy that this at least made it to the meh category. I love the person who's the face of the brand. I mean, she's not the owner, it's a kendo company. But she looks beautiful in all the campaigns, and I definitely have to appreciate that. Need me some liquid courage, hold on. Oh, fuck yeah. Next up, we have a product from a brand that I do really, really like, and I think this is the first foundation that I've tried from them. And not everything from their brand I've loved, but this is the Urban Decay Stay Naked Weightless Foundation, and on me, it certainly was not weightless. It did kind of look like a second skin on me, but in my dry patches, it really accentuated them. Like, I didn't even know I had dry patches until I wore this. I think this was the foundation that actually kind of made my skin look like I had psoriasis in parts of it. I don't know what it was because so many people said this was really, really good. Plus, it was a little bit weird to me that this has a flame warning on it. This says, caution, flammable until dry, do not use near fire, flame, or heat. And I don't know if that's because this has alcohol in it. I don't have my glasses, I honestly can't read it, but that's a little bit scary to me. Like, I really don't know that I want to put that on my skin. So yes, it wasn't a terrible foundation, but for somebody with drier skin like myself, it didn't look that great, and I'm pretty sure I even applied like a serum before I tried this, and it still looked dry. So for the price, there's just so many better options that I have, and ones that won't make my face burn off if I get near a candle. The next one is from one of my all-time favorite brands, Mama Pat. Oh god, this is the Pat McGrath Foundation. If you want to talk about some luxurious ass packaging, which it should be, I think this was like 70 or 80 bucks, maybe 60, I don't know, it was really expensive. But the packaging, oh my god, it is stunning. It's a beautiful glass container, kind of reminiscent of, I think, Estee Lauder? I think? Maybe? Do they have a foundation that's like that? Yes! Oh my gosh, I just googled it. The Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. It almost looks the exact same with a gold cap. And I'm assuming the coverage is much better because this is almost water. Like, props to anybody who buys this and is okay with the price for the coverage that you get. Honey, your bank account must have way more zeros than mine does. Because this is barely a BB cream coverage with with like a Gucci price tag. And the amount that you have to put on just to get a decent amount of coverage, there is no way this bottle could even last you a whole month. Honestly, I give it 2 weeks tops. However, if you do have really, really pretty skin and you just want super minimal light coverage, then I actually think this is a good product. Do I think it's still worth the money? No. But you're not gonna bust through this bitch like you would if you actually wanted coverage. I don't know, I love Pat McGrath, but unfortunately, just like the Lady Gaga stuff, I think the packaging definitely outdoes the actual product. Such a goddamn bummer. Okay, so next, what do we have on my little list? Oh, yes, I know, we have the Wet n Wild 40 palette. Oh, there we go. So this palette actually was not that bad. Did it turn out to be an exact dupe for the James Charles palette? In my opinion, no. What the hell is wet? What the fuck is, like, leaking out of here? Doesn't smell like anything. My god, I know I'm excited, but I'm not that excited. I don't know, but this palette, it wasn't a dupe for the James Charles palette. It was very similar, but a lot of the mattes in the James Charles palette were shimmers in this palette. And so even though in that review I said you don't really need both palettes, now that I'm thinking about it, because the shimmers match the mattes, it might actually be kind of fun. But quality-wise, it's just okay. It kind of reminds me of like those big e.l.f. palettes that used to come out around Christmas time, where you could make looks from them, but are they anything amazing? No. But I think for the price, it does offer a good selection of colors. The shimmers, like a lot of shimmers in the world, were very, very creamy, very pigmented. It's just the mattes, they're not the best. But it's definitely a very user-friendly palette, but certainly not at all terrible. Like, I'm not gonna return it or anything, but it's not something that I'd reach for if I'm doing somebody else's makeup. And honestly, I don't know that I'd really reach for it even if I'm doing my own makeup, just because it was on the ashy side, and I have a lot of these colors in other palettes, and the shades aren't ashy in those. There's a lot of good qualities to it. There's also some not good qualities to it. It's not great. It's not bad. It's just meh. The next palette we have is my Lean Cream palette. Where is it? Actually, you know what? I think I returned it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. Okay, well, this last one was going to be the Lime Crime Vivid palette. It's not like it had that many issues. It just wasn't the best, especially for the price. The colors were really pretty. I really loved the look that we created in the review, but the quality just wasn't like up to par with Lime Crime. I normally love their Venus palettes, but that one, it was kind of my least favorite out of all of them so far. Just like this palette, it wasn't bad, it wasn't great, but a lot of those colors I have in other palettes and they work so much better. And now we're moving on to my favorite category, the Yas products, also known as the best. To kick this category off, we're going in with an item that I actually got in this month's BoxyCharm. This is the Tarte High Performance Naturals Clay Play palette. Not only does it smell great, but I think it tasted good too. Hold on. Yes, but this is a cute kind of all-over palette. Well, I guess it's not really all over. There's no blush or anything in there, and there's no highlighter either, so it's a contour and eyeshadow palette. But everything blends out so fucking easily. I usually just end up mixing all three of these shades and using them as a contour. The eyeshadows blend out magnificently. These go under the eyes to brighten them super nicely. They do tend to add a little bit of patchiness and cakiness under the eyes, which I find with pretty much any brightening powder, so I do go in with a lighter hand. Normally, this daddy loves it rough, tough, and gritty, but with these, you gotta be light. The eyeshadows, I think, are super duper pretty. It's not like you can create a ton of looks with them, but if I'm going to do somebody's makeup, I know that I could just pop this in the bag, create a really pretty look with it, have nice shades to contour with. I really don't have many complaints with it. I mean, even the mirror is nice. Yes, baby. And because this wasn't my BoxyCharm, I have no idea how much it was, but I googled it, and this has 5 stars, and it's 45 bucks. I mean, that is kind of a high price tag, but I do think it's worth it because this is really, really good quality. And I mean, I've paid 40 bucks for just a contour palette alone before, and so this, to me, it's kind of a good steal. And so if I had bought this, I would be okay paying that price. Next up, we have the new Jeffree Star brushes. I'm not gonna open this because that is for the giveaway, but here is one of the brushes, and here's another one. Okay, so with the first Morphe Jeffree Star brush set, I did not like them at all. They felt cheap, they felt cheesy, the bristles were super fucking hard. One ended up kind of scratching both mine and my friend's eye. It was just too rough for the eyelid, but these ones are a million times better. At least I think. Yes, they are still on the cheap side, but they're not tacky like the first ones were. I'm sure some people absolutely adored the way these look, and that's totally okay, but I have seen these exact same things on AliExpress before these even came out. They remind me of the unicorn brushes that I got for like 3 bucks for the whole set off AliExpress, and so I really was kind of bummed that I ended up paying so much, but these, I actually might get a second set of these. If you need a brush set and you like Jeffree, Jeffrey, you want the iconic pink, definitely check it out, especially because you can use a code with it to save even more money. I think they're really good little brushes. And now that I have those fancy schmancy brushes, I can use this next product with them. This is the Chaos eyeshadows. Although I don't know that these are technically eyeshadows, but these are the multi-chrome pigments. Oh my god, there was 2 in there. If you've never seen their pigments before, oh my god, definitely check them out. These are multi-chrome. Let me take a little bit out for you. And I am so on board with these indie brands, but I will tell you that you can buy multi-chrome pigments loosely from places like AliExpress. Can't guarantee what's in them, but they are multi-chromes and they are way cheaper, but oh my god, this is so pretty. Okay, I need a better light because y'all ain't gonna be able to see this. The fuck is my phone? Oh, it's sitting on my lap. I put some on my finger, and depending on the way the light catches it, it totally transforms colors. Like, you can kind of see there's a little bit of like gold, some purple, some orange, and no matter which way it goes, it's always a beautiful color. I'm doing a terrible job at representing this, but oh my god, do you kind of see that? Like right there on the tip, just the tip, it's like a yellowy, orangey rust shade, and what I see is orange, red, purple, yellow, maybe a little bit of green in there. I don't know. It's really, really cool. The only downside to these is that if you use them, you kind of don't know what color people are gonna see. I love their products. I love that they've started from the ground up, and so many famous celebrities have mentioned them. Just good for them. I love it. And we are coming to a close with our last couple products. Here we have the Juvias Place Nomad palette. Oh god, I love Juvias Place shadows. Not all of their palettes have been bangable for me, but this one I can fuck with any old day of the week. It is so fall-like. It'll be perfect for winter and spring and summer. This is a fucking year-round palette for me, even though I'm pretty sure it's made for the fall. The quality is beautiful. They blend out so smoothly. This is one of those effortless palettes where you just kind of have to like swipe it on and it blends out instantly. If you're a lazy hoe like me, it is a dream to work with. I was hoping that there would be more orange in this, but they kind of took it a different direction than the typical fall and went with kind of greens. And so you do kind of get swampy looks, but that's okay because this bitch is basically an ogre. And finally, we have the last product. Not that any of these have really been in any kind of order, but this one is definitely my all-time favorite that we've talked about today. We have the Norvina Pro Pigment Palette Volume Uno. This palette was absolutely fabulous to work with. Like, I cannot wait to try this on a client or a friend. It was a dream. The pigmentation is out of this world. This palette was really expensive. I would swatch this for you, but because it's so expensive, that swatch is literally like $1. But the colors stay very, very true to how they look in the pan. To me, this wasn't really a beginner-friendly palette. I'm sure for some people it is, but I personally would not have been able to start out with this palette, and so that does kind of limit you, but oh my god, this is definitely one to add to your collection if you're a makeup whore. And I know they did just come out with 2 more volumes, which I was gonna review, but I find it very weird that they just randomly came out with 2 more of these at the same time. And it's not like these are cheap, like these are professional grade palettes, so the pricing is on the professional side. Definitely the lower end of the professional side, but the quality is on the higher end. I can't really speak for the other 2 ones, but if they're anything like this, if you like the color scheme of one of them, definitely grab them. Or if you like all of them, oh my god. Now I kind of do want all of them. Oh, should I do it? Maybe I'll get one of them. Let me know down in the comments below which one I should get. But yes, totally recommend the shit out of that palette. But there you go. That was very quick and easy, much like my ex. Thank you all so much for being here. I love having you in my little family. Like always, please be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell down below so that you're notified anytime I upload a new video. Don't forget my newest collection of highlighters, including Black Ice, which does change from black to white, is available at thepoplex.com. Also, my latest album, Kiss of Fame, is available everywhere online that music is sold. Thank you so much to everyone who's supporting them. Comment down below, let me know what you thought of this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter at officialnady, and you can follow me online at thepoplex.com. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and I will see you again soon. Bye! Ooh, sassy today.